you should play Cairn. I know it's kind of giving the game away to say something like that up front, but if you take nothing else away from this video, just know this game is fantastic and beautiful and powerful and something that you absolutely should experience no matter who you are or what you play. I went in blind and I believe that's the best way to go into anything, so if you want to know if the game's worth playing, yes. Alright? Now I've got that off my chest, I want to tell you a little bit more about this mountain climbing game and why it's currently my frontrunner for Game of the Year. If you've played 2023's Jacente, the hook, or should I say the baton of Cairn, will be quite familiar to you. It's a game about making the act of climbing, something that's often relegated to holding forwards and occasionally pressing jump, into the focus of the entire game. Every single step, stretch, hold and rest will be dictated by you, and I can't really understate just how engaging it is. To explain the basics, once you approach a wall and begin climbing, the game will select a limb for you to move. Once you find somewhere to place it and grab on, it selects the next limb, and you repeat the process over and over again until you reach the top. Or, well... It sounds simple and repetitive, and whilst it is technically both of these things, it also creates a very meditative flow that absorbs you completely. The challenge isn't in moving each individual limb, it's in finding your route, analysing each new wall, and planning how to ascend it. You approach something that looks completely insurmountable, and simply find a way to make it to the top. Technically spoilers, but you never find any tools that make you better at climbing. There are never gloves that give you super grip or shoes that stick to stone. Rather you, the player, learn how to become a better climber. You start to see the path ahead of you and project it in your mind where you need to go. It's challenging in the same sense that learning to type on a keyboard is challenging. At first you have to look for each individual key and progress is slow. A simple sentence can take you minutes to complete. However, you quickly start to learn the keys not by sight but by feel. You think the words and your fingers bring them to life. That same sentence is completed in seconds instead of minutes, and the barrier between your thoughts and your outputs disappears. You pour your mind into the page rather than feeding it through a slow and clunky barrier. Just the same, you start to climb these walls by pure feeling. You don't need to compulsively plan every single move, rather you see the route you want to take in your mind and almost automatically bring it to life. You can never get less careful, you still choose each and every hold with thought, but your mind becomes in sync with the mountain and your place on it. You automatically know where each limb is placed, which will move next, and where exactly you're going to place them. The choice to have every single movement be so deliberate also gives you a sense of progress unlike anything else. Climbing a mountain in most games may offer a beautiful view, but all you really did was press a couple of buttons. In Cairn, every time you reach a plateau and look down to see everything you've conquered so far, it offers an extremely visceral sense of accomplishment. You have come so far by making movements so small. Every meter, centimeter, even millimeter you climbed added up to get you to the top. It makes every bit of progress, no matter how small, feel both earned and meaningful. As far as the story is concerned, you may think that the climb is all there is, that the protagonist will be silent and simply a vessel for you to ascend to the peak. Well, you'd be wrong. Ava is a complex and initially unlikable character. She's angry and rude. She receives messages of support from either her friend or girlfriend, I could never work out which, and she never responds. Even her manager, who calls asking for updates to pass on to the very sponsors that are funding her expedition, she ignores. Each new message only seems to irritate her further, and I was always excited to see what she would say and what it would teach me about her. I've seen some reviews call her a badly written character because she's kind of an asshole and we don't know much else about her other than that. Whilst I agree that she most certainly is an asshole and you don't know very much about her, I could not disagree more that she is poorly written. Everything you know about her comes from how she acts on the wall. Every time she yells at climbbots, complains about messages from her loved ones distracting her, even when you fall and she screams in frustration. She's angry and distant and is using the climb to literally and metaphorically escape from the world. I won't talk much about how she develops as she climbs, but her journey is so beautiful and heartbreaking that I sobbed through the final sequence. She's absolutely not poorly written. Rather, she's so painfully human that I think she causes people to see something they'd rather not see in themselves. What the mountain and summit represent to her is something you will question over the 12 or so hours you spend climbing. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid spoilers, so I won't go into any more details than that. Just know that this game will hit you in some very tender places you may not have known you had. It forces you to confront your own thoughts and habits, and if you allow it to be, I believe this is one of the most impactful games that you can play. As the last accompaniment to the engaging gameplay and powerful storytelling, the design, both visual and audible, and immersion this game offers are outstanding. Most of the time when climbing, you are left with nothing but the wind and Ava's various grunts and strains as she struggles her way up the mountain. This sounds almost awkward when described, but it's just another layer of immersion the game uses to pull you in. There are no distractions, no cheerful characters yapping in your ear, there's simply the mountain, Ava, and you. This lack of distraction also comes into play with the stamina mechanic. Ava is an excellent climber, but she's not a superhero. If you have unstable holds on too many limbs, she'll start to lose her grip. This is conveyed to you by controller vibration and more viscerally through her breathing. Unlike some other games, there's no stamina meter. You don't have this advanced warning of when you are going to fall. Instead, when you're starting to slip, Ava begins to panic. Her breathing becomes quick and strained. You can hear the fear thickening her gasps, her breathing getting faster and faster until you fall. It's an often frustrating system as it can come out of seemingly nowhere, and that frustration is by no means unintentional or ineffective. When she starts panicking and your controller is nearly vibrating out of your hands, you will start to panic yourself and scramble to find more secure holds. Her limbs will slip as you move, selecting different body parts rapidly, spiraling your situation further. I truly believe that in most situations it is entirely possible to recover when she starts panicking. After all, to get to the unstable holds, you have to have come from some stable ones. But instead of thinking that climbing back down is the safest option, your panicked mind desperately scrambles to go up into the unknown, normally resulting in a fall. It's an excellent system because all it's really doing is saying that move you made probably wasn't the best. It's up to you what you do with that information, and whether you think it's safe to push ahead, or better to retreat to safety. It's never forced on you or something that happens because of outside forces. It's simply a reaction to a wrong decision, and a warning that you need to do something to fix it. On the occasions that music does play, it's a beautiful soundtrack that conveys the wonder and beauty of what you are doing without shying away from the pain it's causing Ava. This may be some of the highest praise I can give, but it reminds me a lot of certain tracks from Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The way you feel the emotion in the music reminds me of Lost Voice. There's triumph, failure, pain, regret, and so much more baked into such simple composition. There's no real lyrics, but even without them, you can just feel everything. As for visuals, the game is very obviously going for a very particular style. The cell shading gives Ava a very unique look with her layers of bandages, overstuffed backpack, and even the details on her rope. It allows a high level of detail without running into the uncanny valley or poor performance. Cell shading also comes into play when climbing, as it allows even the smallest of holds to stand out when looked at from the right angle. Some walls will seem like a sheer face with no way to get any higher, until you move the camera and see the faintest sliver of a space to place your limbs. I can see how it may not be for everyone, but I for one love it, and every aspect from the weather to the facial animation came together to make something truly beautiful. If you've somehow made it this far into a random video on why you should play Cairn on a channel mostly about strategy games, first of all, thank you. I know I normally leave this stuff to the essays channel, but this game is so damn good and hit me out of nowhere that I felt that everyone should know about it. And secondly, if you want some reasons to check this out as a strategy player, then let me make one final case. Climbing, at least in this game, is all about strategy. You make this grand plan, then make constant smaller decisions to bring that plan to fruition. Sometimes things go wrong, causing the main plan to change and you are forced to adapt and work with the situation in front of you. There are also times when your plan is running smoothly, but you may want to change it simply to check something out. The mountain holds many secrets, and whilst Ava's main goal is to reach the top, I'd encourage you to take your time to really explore everything that you can. You can only climb a mountain for the first time once, so you may as well make the most of it. This is undoubtedly one of the best games I've played in a while, an easy 10 out of 10 and something I think everybody should play. I cannot recommend it enough, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you so much for watching this random review of Cairn. I know I don't normally do this sort of thing, but some stuff happened causing delays for Friday's video, so I thought I'd whip this one up real quick as an apology. Plus, this game is really fantastic, so I needed to talk about it somewhere before my head explodes. I was sent a key for free, but I'm not sponsored or under any obligation to post anything. I simply played something I loved and wanted to share it with you all. If you want to pick up the game, I do have a link with Games Planet and a code for an additional discount. Please do support this game and these developers, whether by my link or not. I really don't mind. I just think this game deserves even more love than it has already. If you want more about this game from a bit more of an analytical perspective, I am 100% making a video about it over on Feeling Fictional, so subscribe to that if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel for more strategy games and apparently impulsive review videos. And if you want another impulsive review, then why not check out my hour-and-a-half Avatar Frontiers of Pandora review from 2 years ago. Come back in another 2 years to see what game I obsess over next. Also, I keep getting comments telling me the Avatar Frontiers of Pandora DLC makes the game good. Guys, the game was good all along. I've been telling you this for 2 years.